Hello, good evening. Have a cup of tea. I drink two teas at night, generally. I always drink one that's Bigelow, the lemon ginger probiotic one. I love that one. And this one's by Taja Tea Company. It's a saffron chamomile. I love it. I love them. I already had the other one because I took my that. See, I'm in my jammies. So, how was your day? How the wonderful Wheel of Fortune work out for you? Make sure these cards. This is the Deviant Moon Tarot. I have not worked with this deck, I don't think ever on camera. There's a girl, Danny, I think her name used to be. Whatever. She used to love this deck. I watched her as a reader years and years ago. Yeah, these cards are not straight. Yeah, so while I'm fixing these cards, because basically, just so you know, if I've not said it, you've not heard me say it before, I always start with my cards straight, and if things come out in the reverse, they come out in the reverse. I don't jumble my cards up. I play it straight, see what comes up. If things flip out, sometimes they'll flip on the floor, and I'll pick it up, and it's a reverse, and I read it like that. So anyway, that being said, I've never worked with this card deck. But how are the energies of that we read from yesterday? How's that reading from last Thursday kind of like reflecting and kind of weaving into that? Because I definitely see that happening in my world. I see it. Yeah, that Knight of Pentacles is still sticking with me. That came up. Oh, and you know what? I meant to look up the beetle tarot. That's an extra card. I meant to look up the beetle symbolism. And I think it has to do with like scarabs and things like that. I'm going to look it up. I'm going to go grab my iPad real quick and see. What we can see. We see. Yes, we do. I have three cats if you ever wanted to know. My oldest cat, Pete, is back there on the chair. He's back there. Hi, handsome man. My Cece is in the other room. You can hear me talking to her. Yeah, so we're putting these cards straight, and then we'll see how they can. Yeah, these cards were. Those cards left. Anyway, I've never read from these cards. So they're a pretty intricate deck. Who is it? Patrick Valencia? Yeah, Patrick Valenza is the author and artist for that deck. All right, beetle symbolism. So remember there were two beetles in that whatchamacallit? That's it. Farro stuffed eggplants with pickled jalapenos. That's a recipe I was looking up earlier. Gonna make that one. Beetle imagery. Beetle. B-E-A-T-L. I can spell. T-L-E. Symbolism. Okay. Regeneration, renewal, and the symbol of the sun. Could be death, bad luck, or in general, a negative omen. Okay, well, we have those were brown beetles. Asking you to make a change in your life that you do not necessarily comply with being true to yourself. Interesting. Let's read this a little more about this. Energy is contagious. Be aware of what and who you allow into your life, which is really what we talked about. We talked about that energy, how we use our energy, how can really drag us down, really can distract us from things. Asking you to make changes in your life that do not necessarily comply with you being true to yourself. In other words, the beetle meaning is letting you know that you must evaluate the situation in its entirety. So You can find a way to compromise. The presence of the spirit animal means that change will come whether you want it to or not. Moreover, the beetle meaning shows you that compromise is the only way that you can maintain your integrity and beliefs. More than likely, this entire predicament is related to an ongoing unresolved family situation. Unfortunately, it requires your participation, even though you have been able to maintain some distance. Thus, the beetle meaning insists that you must find a way to remove yourself from the drama. Only then can you be a harbor of sanity amid the insanity. Or giving you notice of favorable outcomes to the current difficulties you are now facing. Therefore, things are now rolling to a close. By maintaining your integrity, things will soon resolve. So there were two beetles in that card, and you know, the night was, even though the night is the slowest night of the four in the tarot, this particular night was, you know, he was picking that up and he was looking around like, where am I going to take this next? And he was looking he was looking towards the wheel of, see, we have the night, and then he was looking towards the wheel of fortune. So, you know, he was picking up something that was going to turn the wheel, and no matter what, change was coming, and that is evident. You've got, you know, we have this, and though it may not be happening overnight, it's definitely happening. And I don't know about you, but, you know, the minute you hear that, you feel anxious. And, you know, I feel that anxiety. I get it. I totally get it. We talked about this in the meeting. I attend regular meetings on Tuesday nights, and it's a group, and we were talking about, the topic was anxiety, and it was all about whether or not we can be present. I spoke to this a little bit about in the beginning, about how one of the reasons I did not do the reading over the course of the weekend was because I really questioned. I have seen myself where when I've done a reading, it's had too much of my own personal cast on it. And I didn't want that to happen. And I was giving myself also space and time to work with what I was working with. But in that process, that was where I was afraid that I was going to do that. But I've grown up a lot, you know, and I wasn't giving myself enough credit. So I saw that. And so I wanted to try, So what came up? Oh, the Five of Swords. Not Five of Swords, Five of Wands. Card of conflict, you know, but it's conflict that's playful conflict. It's just, like family drama, you know. It's not like the swords or anything like that. So, you know, maybe in another important time in my life, it would have been more of a Five of Swords energy. Real conflict, real thought, philosophy conflict, ideological conflict. But, in noticing that, you know, instead of letting that emotion and that, you know, take us away from doing the things that we really like to do, and being able to balance out that emotion so it's not wiping us out entirely and draining our energy, being able to process and have the emotions and still participate in life. That's the skill. That's the skill. Right? So let's do the reading for Wednesday, July. I never know what day it is. Today was the 13th. Tomorrow's the 14th. Venus and Mars have conjoined. And they've been, you know, coming together, and it'll, you know, as I said last night, it'll be a while. But this is a time of really seeding, you know, really cultivating dreams, wishes, new projects. There's definitely a feel of newness, a new way of doing things. What is this card? Is this the Three of Swords? See, this is a very complicated deck. This card just happens to be up, and I'm going to go ahead and take it. We'll pull it out, but and I'm going to have to come back to it. Did I bring the book for this? I don't know. It's a tough deck. I'll give it a try anyway. It's got a lot of crazy imagery that it's steampunk kind of. Actually, the Gilded Tarot is more that. This is a different kind of artwork altogether. This is a kind of different artwork altogether. I don't know if this is Three of Swords or whether this is Three of... Not like wands. It must be swords. Anyway. So yeah. So what are the energies for Wednesday, July 14th? Ah, okay. Another 3. This one's Pentacles, though. 3 of Pentacles. 3 was a prominent number for today. There was a lot of number 12 energy going on, and I can't remember why. 12 breaks down. No, 21. It's the 21st day of Cancer season. That's what's up. It was, and that breaks down to, oh, here we have another card flipping. Oh, see, this one came upside down. So we have a reversed 7 of Pentacles. So not being really sure about what we're planning, and that's okay. We don't need to make a commitment right now. We can always change, but you know, there's another one. An Ace of Wands. Again, there's a beetle on here. Notice that beetle. Okay. So I'm going to, I don't know, maybe there is a book with this. If this is the 3 of Swords, it must be. I know we have the actual real book for this. I know my daughter, we started her out with this tarot deck, but I don't know that she used it that all that much. Well, maybe she's just come away from it, that's all. 6 of Wands. 3 of, nope, not the 3 of Swords. So it's not the 3 of Pentacles. Must be the 3 of Wands. Yep, this is the 3 of Wands. Okay. Here we go. Oh, fun. All right, well, gosh, I have all this stuff. Oh, and I brought out another deck that I'm not very good at reading. But I brought it out for some commentary, and it's one I actually brought up mainly because I definitely want to start working with it, the Lenormand deck. It's not terribly difficult, but it is a different system. Okay, so let's angle the camera down so you guys can see what we're looking at. All right, so what came out? We have the that 3 of Wands that came out. It was just kind of in there, or it just kind of flipped over in the deck as I was shuffling them. And then we have the 3 of Pentacles. We have the 7 of Pentacles reversed and the Ace of Wands upright, which is great. And at the bottom of the deck, let's take a look at that. We've got, let's see, it's still upside down. The Empress. Although it came, when I looked at it, it was upright. So that we have the Empress and the Knight of Wands. Although the Empress was technically reversed. Knight of Wands, Queen of Pentacles. So we've got a lot of different characters going on here. So the 3 of Wands. So you can see this is a really, really wild deck. And he's got another one out that came out, more recently that he did. I don't know it's as popular as this particular deck is. So the three of we've got 2 3s out here, which is interesting. The 3 of Wands is a card of, not setting out on a journey, is actually having made steps onto a particular journey. So we've made some steps out there in the world, and and in this card you can clearly see that there's a almost like an umbilical cord attached to these seeds that have been planted. And usually in the traditional tarot, you've got a person with who is a cloaked individual who has gone on to
onto a journey and is perhaps waiting for the ships to come in to either take them to their next part of their journey, or waiting for the ships to come in. There's some supplies, or some kind of, some sort of, something is coming in via boats on the water. We don't have that here. The only kind of water that is involved here, and this is clearly a female figure, is the feminism is also further emphasized by the presence of the moon. The moon is generally the yin to the yang of the sun. So you've got the moon is the feminine principle, whereas the sun is the male principle. And the moon is blowing on, so these seeds are actually growing up in the light of the moon. So they're growing up undercover. So this, whatever is being created here, and this umbilical cord is coming out of this pregnant woman's body. So she's, as though they're outside of her body, the pregnancy is clearly still ongoing. So no matter what, these seeds are still only known to this individual. And they're growing, but no one else but this person knows it, and nobody sees them but her. And she's the one who's quietly cultivating and attending to them, and she's clearly very focused on them only, which may be how we feel. And we feel that, something that we've planted, very much like that Knight of Pentacles. He was picking up, he was very protective of that pentacle in his arms, and he was taking it out, and he was, going to plant this pentacle, this idea, to seed this project, whatever it might be. And he was taking that from the thought processes, those higher thought processes, those imaginations, those higher vibrational thoughts of the King of Swords. He was kind of taking that from divine thought and, carrying it into the 3D world to plant. And this is where it's starting to grow. But it's in the light of the moon. It's not the sun. This is something that's growing, and maybe you're the only one who knows about this. This isn't something that you're telling anybody, even though something is starting to show, because she's clearly showing. And then the next is, so we come to those pentacles. So the Three of Pentacles is something, some hard work, some very fine craftsmanship is being done. And it looks very collaborative. And generally there is a collaboration involved in a Three of Pentacles card. There's always some kind of hand happening. It's usually, some kind of divine, project is being worked on. Something is coming to life in the 3D world, but that something is coming from, and it's done by either done by more than one person. It's either with, divine inspiration, or whether it is actually working with other people. And in this, you've got three very different looking people, three very different looking individuals. They're all, each and every one, and they're working, and the thing of it is they're actually working on one another. So coming together with this, it really feels to me that we're working. What we're working on, although it's something we may be working with, it may be something that we're working in within ourselves, it's through working with other people that we're starting to get better at understanding what it is that we're trying to create individually. It's an inside job, but it has input from the external is what's helping to inform and to really help what's growing inside to be even better and more beautiful. And what I also notice is, these buds are still tightly wrapped. They're not blossoming yet. They're coming close, but it's certainly not something that's going into full bloom. So and then we do have the Seven of Pentacles, which is seeds, generally seeds well planted and seeds that we're tending, but they're not quite ripe. And in the reverse, this individual is testing. She's, scratching the tree and causing it to bleed to kind of, I think, test the situation. In the reverse, it says that, well, we're not really sure about what we planted. There isn't, we're actually maybe a little anxious about what it is that we planted, and it's almost like we don't believe it. And in that respect, she's cutting into the tree to see if it bleeds, to see if it's actually real. That's kind of what I'm picking up from this card. And it's the only tree in what looks like a sea of kind of an urban landscape. So she doesn't even, it's like she doesn't even believe it. And then in the upside down, it's almost like, this tree's kind of holding on for dear life to the seeds that it has. And so perhaps, there's also the thought that, and it doesn't look like this tree this tree doesn't have any leaves. It's just got these pentacles hanging from it. It's like we don't have a lot of faith in what, it's taking a lot of faith to believe that these are actually going to come into an upright and beautiful tree. Something that's alive, and then, but it is alive. It's bleeding. We'll come back to that a little bit. And the Ace of Wands, something of great passion is being birthed. But again, that beetle is here. The beetle is what's creating, the beetle is very close to that flame. Like, I wouldn't think a beetle would want to be that close. But there it is. And I'm looking at the moons that are in her cloak. It almost looks like owls are in her cloak. I don't know. It's kind of they look like owls. So, wisdom is here. The wisdom, and they're right around her bosom. So wisdom of the heart. And she, something is being born of all of this. That's something that it is the Ace of Wands. So she's taking this divine passion. She's turning it into a career. She's turning it into her heart's desire. And now, instead of just that one tree, instead she's crowned with all of those trees. And they're glowing like stars. It's almost like all of those, all of the pentacles, this tree that's upside down has now righted itself, and it's sprouting beautiful ideas out of the top of her head into a crown that's beautiful, and it's adorning her. And there's even, this, in contrast to the Empress, who is, in the reverse here. This looks like a very abundant looking queen. Abundant looking. This would be what I would imagine the Empress to be, because even this Empress doesn't even look remotely as lush and, fruitful. This Empress looks kind of spare and thin, although she does have 3 breasts. Which suggests she could feed a lot of children, a lot of, nourish. This is like, something that's clearly coming to life. And we even have she's got wings of the moth wings, and the owl kind of, the wisdom in her, the owls in her cloak. It really feels like, she's really someone who's taking this wand and going with it. So she's really, all the ideas and everything, she's taking this and really turning it into something of great beauty, something she truly desires, and she is going to make it beautiful no matter what. She's going to take that change, and out of the change, the metamorphosis of the wings behind her, she's taking that change. So, and this is although the Empress card would typically denote this kind of energy, this in the reverse is almost, because I picked this particular deck to work with tonight, it's almost as though this this person is absolutely taking on that Empress energy, and whatever, this card is supposed to be is very diminished in the presence of this individual. There's so much power in this compared to this card, no matter whether it's right or whether it's in the reverse. Whatever ideas that you came up with, whatever way that you're turning your wheel of fortune, you know, we almost can't help ourselves but really go with that divine inspiration to follow our heart, to follow our soul purpose, and to make, beautiful babies and trees and make a beautiful life absolutely gorgeous, just to transform the whole thing. The Knight of Wands is also at the bottom of the deck, and the Queen of Pentacles is here. We also, once again, we've got a Knight of Swords. He's been hanging out a lot, but we've got King of Pentacles here too. He came back again. So, and the Wheel of Fortune is also under the deck. So we got a lot of opportunity, got a lot of characters going on, because some of these can be characters. The Queen of Wands, the King of Pentacles, Knight of Swords. All of those can be like different kinds of like energies that are in your life. All right, so let's let's do a quick reading, pull a card from the Lenormand deck. And I know these will all be in the upright because I have not touched these cards since like the beginning of time. I love how I'm playing with all these like new cards. I thought I saw, oh yeah, there's one that was upside down. I know, I'm so picky. There was another one. Okay, so let's do a commentary on this reading from the Lenormand deck. Just one card, and I'll probably read from the. So yeah, something we're working on, something in the background. It's something that our interactions with others and our work with others. And just, in daily life is something that's going to inform what it is that we're creating. We may not have a lot of faith in it, though. We may feel like, it's somehow still beyond our reach to actually tend. That I can feel, especially since we had that Ten of Wands card at the bottom of the deck yesterday. Do we have the wherewithal to pick up the responsibility to our end of the bargain to move these dreams forward? But yes, we can. Yes, we can. The Ace of Wands is here, and this particular Ace of Wands is just amazing. Like I said, superseding the Empress. Okay, so we have two that flipped at the top. We've got the Sun, the 31 card, and we also have the Ring card. So let's see what these guys mean. 31. I don't, like I said, this system isn't one that I am familiar with, but we're gonna, yeah. So this would also, apparently, this would be like the Ace of Diamonds, which would also be the Ace of Wands. Okay, so in a playing card deck, this would represent the Ace of Wands. So you can actually do your readings with a playing card deck. These cards. So this is just further. As I said, this one was totally like she was in the reverse anyway. She's like, yeah, I pale in comparison to this lady, to what really was happening here. Even my Empress energy, even my status as an Empress, is nothing compared to what this Ace of Wands is bringing. That's further emphasized by the presence of this card. A bright solar disk with intense light, vivid rays shines center stage in the Sun card. Throughout history, human cultures have revered, celebrated, honored, and deified the Sun as the source of life. And we talked about the Sun card earlier. We talked about that coming up. We didn't talk about the Sun card, excuse me. We talked about the Sun and the Moon, and what the differences are. The Sun symbolizes a new beginning and a bright new day. It denotes light, warmth, heat, as well as success, life, glory, and victory. The Sun card brings light and heat to the current circumstances. It brightens our skies, revives our heart, and cheers every situation. The Sun is our divine light, so naturally the Sun card illuminates our path and brings about success and victory. And to all aspects of our lives, be it private or professional. The Sun card announces happiness and joy as well as the realization of desires. It is the card that gives courage and creates hope to achieve or accomplish a goal. The Sun card dispels ignorance and darkness and shines a light on all that is obscure. The Sun card is also the sign of recognition, fame, and a powerful reputation. Furthermore, it denotes the ego, pride, and sense of high self-esteem. A person under this card is very charismatic and alluring personality. The Sun card reveals energy, vitality, and power. The Sun card also represents locations in a literal sense, reminding us of summer, sunny beaches, tropical vacations, and any other hot destination. The Sun card brings a positive, optimistic vibration to any spread, especially when negative cards precede it. The Sun card marks the ending of troubles and puts finality and termination to those negative cards. Okay, so we talked about that with the presence of the beetle in the Knight of Pentacles, when we from yesterday's reading, that came in. All of that vitality that was in the presence of the bunny and those two beetles, and again we have that beetle here. So there we go. I love it. I love it. Okay, and then we have the 25 card, the ring card. This is also an ace. Oh, interesting. So I think this would be probably like the Ace of Pentacles. Yep, Ace of Clubs. So this is like the Ace of Pentacles. So again, anything that we value, those pentacles are coming back in again. A simple but beautiful, elegant golden ring is shown on this card. Sometimes the ring will have a mounted precious stone surrounded with some artistic designs. The ring has always been the symbol of unity, attachment, alliance, and marriage. The ring has become the offering and the vow given when expressing deep affections and a desire for sincere commitment. The ring denotes all unions, commitments, engagements, betrothals, and all sorts of associations and agreements. It is the binder and the promise, the pact and the contract. The ring signifies partnership, merger, or joint venture. It predicts a strong connection, a serious relationship, and a solid tie. The ring is also a material card. Valuable objects, jewelry, expensive gifts, precious items, and anything with a ring with a bling factor. The ring card embodies the sign of the circle, the completion, the solution, and a coming full circle. It is also running in circles, the course of a cycle or the never-ending cycle, like going over something repetitively. It is the card for confirmation, corroboration, and affirmation. The ring card is a positive card, but the cards around it affect it tremendously. If the ring card appears at the left side of the man or woman card, it indicates an attachment. If the inquiry concerned a romantic matter, then the answer would be that the person is available, involved, or married. If the ring lands on the right side, it indicates the person in question is sincere with an intention of commitment. So anyway, that's probably more than we needed to know, but these guys came out together, and it came out, I guess, on the left. They kind of came out together, so it doesn't really matter. And then when I laid them down, it's on the right or the left. It's on the right for you guys. So anyway, coming out together with the sun, it's just heart, man, ring. Sometimes it'll give us some little hints about what the meanings are together. But regardless, a ring card. So there is a commitment towards something. This is something that we talked about this yesterday about partnerships, collaborations. Anything that you're doing with other people. Any kind of committing to something. We're doing that, but with the Seven of Pentacles coming in, it may be that we're, is this real? And that's, that's the feeling I was getting from that. And, when we're working into these kinds of commitments, we want to know if it's real, or is it just an illusion? So I get that, but these cards are here to show us that they are real. These the things that we're working on are real, and considering all we've been through, it's hard to have that faith and trust, I know, but these cards are certainly here to, and even with the King of Pentacles is under here, Queen of Wands is here, as along with the Ace of Wands. These are all cards that are clearly supportive of moving in a new venture, moving in a new direction, even with some situations that were seemingly old, but taking them in a different direction, which is a very Three of Wands kind. This card, this reading opened up with the Three of Wands. So I love this reading. there's a lot of cool things in it, and I'm going to think about it a little bit more because, like I said, I haven't worked with this deck on camera, and I've definitely never done a full reading with it, especially with it. So it's a little bit of a bold move for me, but I I like I did it. I like that I did it. Listen, I love you guys. If you have any questions, please put them in the comments or direct message me. You can also email me at lisa.loring@gmail.com, lisa.loring. You can, yeah, for either private reading, PayPal and Venmo donations are accepted and appreciated. Thank you very much. And yeah, I think that's it. Like, share, subscribe. This will be on Instagram, YouTube, and then on Facebook, whatever your favorite platform is, or whoever you need, whoever you'd like for to see it, can find me on those platforms as well. I love you. Enjoy the reading. Have a great day.